What's up, guys? Puddy here. Welcome back for the 15th edition of the Sunday Puddcast, which is only sometimes on Sundays. I'm back with my guest this week, Marshall, Sinbad, Augustine the Fourth. What's going on?
Wait, Sinbad? I like that name. Have you ever seen the movie Sinbad?
No.
No? That's pretty good. It's pretty weird. He's kind of like a roguelike character. Anyway,
isn't there a character in isn't there a character in the Jungle Book called Sinbad? Or am I?
No. Sinbad's its own story. He's like Sinbad, the sailor of the seven seas. He's like a pirate type guy. Like his dream in life is to just live on Fiji with a pile of money.
Kind of like Luffy from One Piece.
Yeah, or the main character from Tangled, the guy. I don't remember his name. But anyway, enough cartoons.
We're here to break down the
But yeah, I've
best.
been good. Your question was how I am. I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
We're here to break down the best WWE-related show of the year so far. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I really loved it. It was great. I thought it was very entertaining. There were a couple matches that I honestly think were just like, but I'd say the last two matches and the first match really made up for all the blandness in the middle, which you would expect really, because there's a lot of times there's blandness in the middle. You know, it's kind of expected. I don't know.
I mean, it's called the mid card for a reason.
Yeah, they should just call it the shit card. Anyway.
Should we start at the very beginning? Is it a very good place to start?
Yeah, I think the beginning is a very good place to start.
Okay, so the first
Isn't that a song? Anyway.
The first match was Zebra versus Kenta.
Woo! Wait. Oh, yes, okay. You said that so weirdly. I just realized what you were saying.
Okay, so Tyler Breeze versus Hideo Itami. Very technical, very stiff match. I mean, Tyler has a lot of kicks as well, so it was a very good mix of similar styles.
It was very energized. They were jumping all over the place in that match.
I think those two knew that this match was kind of like a side thought tonight, and they wanted to make the most out of it, and I think they did.
Well, considering a lot of the other players tonight were more heavy-handed guys, they were just sort of bashing their opponents. I think that match was a really good. Well, actually, honestly, I would have liked that match at the end, sort of to cleanse my palate, because there was a lot of bashing in the later matches, and that one was a very nice sort of just straight-up fighting, like almost. That's the kind of fighting you would see in almost like an actual like not wrestling, but in kickboxing almost. It was very good. I liked it. Yeah, no, like you said, it's technical. It was a lot, and it was decent. It was a lot of showmanship as well. Like they put in the selfie stick. That's really funny. And I tell you, puts on, even though I keep pronouncing his name wrong. How is it pronounced?
Just call him Kenta. It's easier.
Kenta. Is that his last name?
No, that's his old indie name when he came to WWE.
Well, Kenta, even though like he's sort of a straight face kind of guy, he still puts on such a show when he's being put under duress or it gets hit. Like he just looks like he's just like doesn't give a shit. Like he's taking the pain. He's not just like I don't feel anything. But he's like
will understand the
he puts on a really good show. Not to say like Americans are kind of racist, as you know. Who isn't? White people are racist. Anyway, and we love Asian stereotypes just as much as we do any others. And I think he put on a really good sort of like Japanese stereotype where he's like just taking the pain. He's like, and he's, that sort of stereotype of like really tough Japanese fighters who just don't give a shit. They like die for their emperor. Racism.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't mean to be racist, but honestly, I think that's a lot what they're trying to do with his character. They're trying to make him into a traditional Japanese sort of fighter.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot more. It's a hell of a lot less stereotypical than Funaki, at the very least.
Yeah, he's still Americanized in his fighting style, but he still has like, I'd say he's a good balance between the two.
Well, I think his fighting style is very, very Japanese, but it's just.
Well, he does a lot of let's just say a martial artist would be a little bit saddened by his techniques. Like,
I mean, wrestling Japanese.
Okay, wrestling Japanese.
It's still very New Japan. It's very not New Japan. I always get that wrong. There's a big promotion in Japan called New Japan, and Kento.
I don't know. Traditional Japanese wrestling is two huge guys holding each other.
I meant modern Japanese wrestling when it got really big.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought this was a very solid opener. One of the best pure wrestling matches on the card. Towards the end, like you said, a lot of it was more about telling a story. I'm surprised there was so much aggression in the number one contenders match, but we can talk about that later. But this match, in a lot of ways, was probably the best pure wrestling match on the card. Do you have a grade on a lettering system?
Yeah, we can do what we did last time. So I would say on this one, there were a couple things I noticed, but I can't really, they were so minor that I can't even remember what they were. Just remember thinking once or twice that, oh, that's weird. But I'd say overall that match was really good. I'd give it an A-, or a B+. A- probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, to give it the full A- because there wasn't much story behind it going into
No, there wasn't. It was a lot of just them. All I got from it was that, he's angry and he's, wants to hit him.
Yeah, I mean, it was it wasn't a rivalry in a lot of ways. Although I liked the motivation Tyler had. Hey, if you're going to beat me in the tournament, win the freaking tournament. You make me look bad, you know what I mean? That was great motivators. I like that. But, I'd give it a B+. What did you settle on?
I settled on A-. I like A-. I thought it was a good.
Do you have an A+ or an A* in your system, or is A your max?
A+ is the max.
Okay, I'll go A* then. Okay. So now we've got big belly button versus big balls.
I didn't notice he had a really big belly button, did he?
Yeah, he's got a really weird belly button.
Okay. Is he an innie or outie?
I can't tell. I'm
an innie, so then it's an innie. I'm an innie, so I've always thought outies are really weird looking, it's a little tiny penis on their stomach. Are you an outie?
That's what I'm an innie.
You're an innie. Okay, yeah.
I mean,
although it's harder to clean innies, shit gets in there.
I don't clean it.
I'm pretty sure fungus is growing in mine. All disclosure.
I had food a week ago, and I just checked inside and. Yeah, still
Oh shit! No, mine always smells. I have to take a little thing and scrub it out, or else. Anyway, but way too much information. I'm glad this is going up in your channel because I'm gonna scare away all my viewers.
Okay, so this was Baron Corbin versus Bull Dempsey 3. After everyone was left in doubt after the last 2 times Baron Corbin beat Bull Dempsey, whether he could beat Bull Dempsey. I wasn't entirely sure going into this match. What about you?
I didn't think. I mean, to me, the Bull seemed like just sort of a kind of not weak fighter. He's got a lot of power in his strikes, but I didn't see him. I didn't think he was going to win. I didn't think Bull was going to win going into the match.
Well, I was joking for one thing.
Okay. You were joking. Well, I don't know as much about the two, but yeah, when I was going in the match, I was just thinking, he's another one of those huge guys who's not very agile. He's probably just going to get beaten.
I mean, the problem with this whole storyline is that Mojo Rawley was on a massive push that was just squashing everyone, and then Bull beat him because the crowd hated Mojo Rawley. And now Bull's hated by the crowd, so Baron's going to beat him. So I don't know where this is going, whether Baron's actually going to get anywhere. He clearly has.
Did Baron win that match?
Yeah.
God. He did.
You're getting confused by the botched finish.
No, yes, the botched finish, but also the fact that was almost, I'm not going to say it was Ziggler, but he took a lot of abuse in the face region in that match. He got his face and neck were thrown against large metal objects at least 8 times.
Yeah.
So not 8 times, but it was at least 4 times. So I feel like it was pretty impressive that he was able to get back up after all that shit. Plus you have this huge guy just landing on him all the time.
I mean, it wasn't true babyface in peril, but it did what it served to do. It wasn't anything special, was it?
Yeah, I mean, they just had this big hulking guy throwing him into shit. So you're like, I mean, I did feel bad for him because I'm thinking that's kind of unfair. Like, and then when he picked up the chair, I'm glad he didn't get to use it because I'm like, shit, this is just a murder.
Yeah. I'm glad I see what you say about that, but it's a no disqualification match, and we didn't get to see any weapons.
That's true. No shanks, no shillelaghs, no clubs. No swords.
I would have died to see Finn Balor use a shillelagh.
Have they ever? Oh my god, that'd be I love shillelaghs. They're so cool. But I mean, have they ever used cutting weapons? Has anyone ever just come into the ring with a knife and just been like, "I'm gonna cut your throat"?
Barbed wire.
Someone came in with barbed wire.
Yeah.
Did they use it?
Yeah, it's been used a couple of times. One time they replaced the ring ropes with barbed wire.
Was it okay? Is it the like girly kind of barbed wire that they used in World War II with like the two prongs every like foot, or is it razor wire? If it's barbed wire, I could see them approving that, but I have no idea how they could use razor wire in a wrestling match. Is it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, but I can't tell you which one they used.
You don't remember? They look very different.
I will get an image.
Barbed wire has the prongs. Anyway,
Go on with your review of this match.
Yeah, so I thought I thought, like I said, I thought it was average. It is less than average, really. I didn't think it was that good. I wasn't really impressed. There was a lot of hitting, and I guess that was entertaining, but it was sort of like fluff entertainment. It was like, it was like, oh, that kind of hurt, but whatever. So I'll give it a C minus.
I sent the link. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Yeah, I didn't like this match. There wasn't much new about it, and they botched the finish, which makes it slightly worse than all of the rest that they've been using. So.
Wait, what am I going to? Oh, okay, a picture. Oh shit.
So I'm gonna give it a D.
Fuck, dude. Is that the guy who they used it on, or is that the guy who used it?
I think both.
You can't even see. I think it's regular barbed wire, but man, that looks bad. There's no way. I would quit after that shit. Either I get $1 million raise or I'm quitting. That's bullshit.
It could be fake blood. Keep this in mind.
It could be, but that's still real. That's still real barbed wire. Like, even if he's not bleeding that severely, it's got to be at the very least aggravating. Anyway, like, I don't know if you've ever been wrapped with barbed wire and then thrown against a large like metal thing, which they probably did too.
I've been wrapped with fake barbed wire.
That's weird. I can never say I've been wrapped with either fake or real.
It was plastic, looked very realistic, and was very useful for situations like the one you're looking at right now.
Oh, in your fake wrestling matches?
Yeah. Now, okay, yeah, so I gave it a D, you gave it a C minus.
Yeah.
So.
I always give higher grades. I'm always a little nicer. I'm saving an F for a really, really... F to me is the worst match of all time. You don't get F unless you just... failed.
Like Jeff Hardy shows up stoned and is forced to get pinned instantly. That's the kind of match that I give it F to.
Not even that, because at least that's entertaining.
It kind of was. Fair enough.
If you can provide me with any sort of entertainment, even if it's fluff, you're not going to get an F.
I think I'm going to give a higher grade later in the show.
Okay.
A couple of things.
Anyway.
So, the masked marauders take on the guys with no name or character. Who happen to hold the tag team championships.
What were they called again?
Blake and Murphy?
Anyway,
that
was a decent match. I didn't really like it that much.
I mean,
but
it was entertaining.
I've never been a huge fan of tag team matches. Myself.
I've never been a fan of WWE tag team matches for the most part. But I do like New Japan on occasion when they pull out some crazy shit. But
yeah, I think at the end of the day, tag team matches are almost so political. Like, you're trying to like.
Oh, 6-man tags. 6-man tags are good.
Yeah, those are good. I don't like I'm just not a fan of the regular tag. Like, I rarely see a regular tag team match that I'm like, okay, that was one of the better ones in that lineup. No, I usually and it might just be it's not that they're being done wrong. I just think it's the kind of match that doesn't entertain me. Obviously, it entertains a lot of people because they wouldn't do it if they didn't. But it's not. Okay.
WWE gives a shit.
Okay. Well, yeah, but no, it's not WWE. Tag team matches have been a thing in wrestling forever. Someone at one point was like, hey, what if we put these two guys up against these other two guys, and the crowd went crazy. So at one point, this was popular, okay? Like, it's not like WWE invented the the basic concept of tag teaming.
Okay. Now, what I thought your point is they wouldn't still be doing it if it wasn't entertaining. You know what I mean?
No, I think if it's an institution, they'll do it, and it's easy. Tag team matches are great for them, I think, because it's easy. Like they can take some of their less important characters and throw them on the roster all at once. You know?
I do. It's sad, but I do.
That's sort of what it is, honestly. Like, so they can get rid of some.
Are you saying that Cesaro and Tyson Kidd were not put together to win the tag team championship?
Oh my God!
Are you telling me Adam Rose and the Bunny was not a serious tag team?
I liked Adam Rose and the Bunny. That was a good match.
Are you telling me Miz and Miz? Oh wait, they won the tag team title.
Actually, no. The Adam Rose and the Bunny was the Bunny won it, and also it was just a random street challenge. It wasn't in a it wasn't technically.
They had the tag team matches.
They did other ones besides that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were a legit tag team for about a month.
I mean, they're pretty funny. They put on a good show. I think you either need to be a good wrestler or you need to be able to put on a good show. If you can't do either, then get the fuck out of WWE. You know, like
Roman Reigns. You listening? I kid because I love Roman. So we're completely not talking about the match at all.
No, we're not.
Do you give any time of day to Kalisto? Because he's apparently going to be a singles dude on the main roster.
Really?
You know? Yeah.
Well, I'll say I didn't think they were that entertaining, but it might have been because the other two, like you said, they were pretty shitty. I mean, I didn't see any really good hits from them.
All four of these guys have been a bit lost.
Like, honestly, I know it wasn't that entertaining because it's the match I remember the least of. I forgot that I watched it up until 10 minutes.
Do you remember the Kalistov?
I think no. What's that?
You said Listov. I said Kalistov.
Oh, I get it.
I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. It's just it just didn't mean much.
It didn't mean much, but hey, it was a decent match. They didn't mess it up really. So I'll give it a C.
Yeah. I'll give it a C.
Because I mean, my own personal opinion, it didn't entertain me, but at the end of the day, like it was a decent match. Like
I got into it.
It was set up well, I think. Anyway, yeah.
Now, unless we're missing anything, we only have the main events left, right? Have we missed anything, or is it just the 3 main events?
There were those 3, and then next we got the Divas, and then no. Next is the British, and then the women.
Wait. Finn Balor is not British.
Oh, that's true. Well,
Irish.
Sorry, Irish people. I don't really think of your culture as an independent culture.
Okay. Sorry.
Until you really show some serious if you bomb all of London right now, I'll take you seriously. That's a challenge. No.
That gauntlet laid down.
Any IRA listening, you're a pussy if you don't bomb London right now.
Right now.
Anyway.
Okay, so Finn Balor versus Adrian Neville.
And news this week. Apparently IRA bombed London with notes saying leading to a who we think planned the attack, an American in northern Indiana. He is now being charged with
terrorism.
War crimes and terrorism. He is being taken to the Swedish International Court. Anyway.
Sampdorian legal courts. What do you want?
Yeah. What am I talking about? Anyway, continue.
So, Finn Balor versus Adrian Neville. First of all, a little bit of aside, my bias towards this match. Pac versus Fergal Devitt was the first match I ever saw of Fergal Devitt, and now I love Finn Balor. So, I'm going to have a bit of a bias going into this, but I do think that this match wasn't as good as Pac versus Fergal Devitt was 3 years ago. But it was...
I'll say they really got me riled up for the match. Because after that last tag team match, I was like, but that match, the beginning of it, really got me riled up.
It was a good opener to
He puts a good opener on.
And, I mean, Finn Balor continues to be incredible. Just incredible presence, incredible entrance, incredible move set. He's ready. And he's 34. Guys, you haven't got that much time. Get him on the main roster now.
I mean, yeah, he'll be perfect for the main roster because, like I said, he's not only an energetic and great fighter, he's also, like I said, puts on a great show, gets the crowd riled up, and that's what you need from a headliner.
I'm interested, since you're a casual. Who do you think was the heel in that match?
See, I think a lot of times they go for the dark hero. So I'm actually going to guess Finn Balor was not the heel.
Finn Balor was not the heel.
Yeah, he wasn't.
It's unlikely that Neville was a heel either, but
Neville wasn't a heel?
No, they're both probably faces, but Neville was playing a little bit more to the heel side.
He's chaotic neutral.
Yeah, Balor's been face for a while. Neville's been heel for like the last match Neville had on a big pay-per-view was Sami Zayn, and you cannot not be a heel when you're fighting Sami Zayn. It just doesn't happen. This match was great. The moveset is fantastic.
It's like not being a heel while you're beating the shit out of John Cena.
Yeah. Wait, no, it's like not being it's like being a heel when you're facing John Cena. You're always going to be a face when you're facing John Cena. Anyway, this match was awesome. There was a few great moves. The pacing was a little bit off. There were a few botches, but it's better than pretty much anything else you're going to see on WWE television most of the time.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
I thought this presence alone made it a little bit better than the opener.
There were some really wild moves, like erratic and crazy, so I thought it was entertaining in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'd probably give it an A-. I thought it was it was lacking much of a story. Honestly, I felt like the number one contenders thing was a great idea, but I still never felt like Finn Balor versus Adrian Neville was really something we built to. So,
yeah, I'll give it an A- too. I personally thought that the first match was, even though it wasn't the one of the main events, I thought the first match was. I would equal it to that one personally, in my opinion. But anyway, yeah.
Okay, on to the co-main event: Bayley versus Sasha Banks versus Charlotte versus Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
What are your first impressions of this thing?
Well, we got some very, I do like how, they weren't just generic bitches. Like each one of them, like they're all bitches, but each one of them had
Bayley is not a bitch.
Sorry. They all had very dynamic characters, and I feel like a lot of times WWE just sort of makes divas just, oh, we're women and we're annoying and we get into arguments, and it's like, and I feel like they did have some decently dynamic characters in the Divas match there, or in the women's match. They're called Divas, right? Are they called Divas? It's
been a little bit of a change. The championship is called the Women's Championship, but lately the announcers have been saying Divas matches.
Yeah, it's probably for branding reasons.
Yeah, well,
they're probably trying to. Yeah, anyway. But yeah, I thought the women had great characters going into the match, and I didn't know who I was really rooting for because they all had very interesting styles. Also, I didn't follow them, but I thought Bayley surprised me. I thought she was going to be sort of the weakling in the match, but she fought really hard. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know. What are your opinions going into it?
Going into it, well, obviously, like I kind of knew who was going to win, but I still have to root for Bayley. Like, it's one of those things that's like,
I like Charlotte a lot.
Yeah, I like Charlotte. I recognize the talent that's there, but
I just thought she was a very decent wrestler.
Bayley has this thing, and Sami Zayn has it too, where even when
I think you just like perky girls with very dark hair.
Okay, I might be an AJ Lee fan. Anyway, it's the same thing with Bayley, and it's the same thing with Sami Zayn. Is that they just have this charisma to them that even when you know everything, like when you're really into the wrestling business, you know how it's booked, you know how it's done, you still find yourself somehow rooting for these characters, somehow hoping for them to win. And with Bayley, it's the same thing. But at the end of the day, Sasha Banks needed to win that match. She was always probably going to win that match. She probably should have won the match last year at Takeover, at our Evolution. But Charlotte's ready for the main roster now. I hope she doesn't get up there and just start getting lost.
Shitting all over the place.
Yeah, getting lost in the rabble. But yeah, Bayley versus Sasha Banks is going to be a good program. I can't wait. When Bayley wins that title, I'm going to mark out as much as I've ever marked out for anyone before. I will continue to trumpet that Bayley is the future of the women's division, and I will continue to trumpet.
I mean, she's going to be the successor to the AJ.
No, because you see, AJ is a great heel and a decent face, and Bayley is just so lovable. Okay.
Yeah, but then again, she's lovable. But I feel that if she turned heel, it'd be all the more interesting.
Oh yeah, but it's not like AJ where she's this scathing heel who can just rag on everyone. You've got to push Bayley's buttons to turn her heel.
Yeah, but I feel like eventually, maybe not, but I feel like eventually they're going to take her and she's going to go through some really like tormenting period in the story, and she's just going to turn into like a total ass kicker, like doesn't give a shit about it.
I'm really hoping it's related to Bray Wyatt. That would be awesome.
Why would it? Why?
Because seeing Bayley with a Bray Wyatt like faction would be an incredibly interesting dynamic.
It would be weird. It would be weird. Bray Wyatt converts. Bray Wyatt doesn't have many women. Women aren't really attracted to that sort of sex.
Hey, what was that thing that was going around with Luke Harper? Lumbersexual or something like that?
Lumbersexual.
It's not lumbersexual, but I forget what it's called. But anyway, yeah, I like Bayley. I think the money is there to be made with her as a face, and I'm really hoping that they don't ignore her due to the fact that Charlotte is just so naturally talented.
Mm-hmm. As far as the match overall, I thought it was good. I'd say for me, out of Diva match, like, okay, if I'm gonna rate it as a match overall, I'm probably gonna give it like a B-. But as far as Diva matches go, I'd give it a B+, A-, because it was good for Diva matches. For regular matches, I'd say it was a little above average.
You get to decide your scale. What rating are you giving it?
I'm going to give it on the, since we've been doing everything on the overall match rating, I'll give it as an overall match rating, I'm going to give it a B, you know? I think that's a decent rating for that match.
I think taking in story and pure wrestling ability, the amount of great spots that were in this, the amount of characters that went into it, I don't think you get much better than this. And I'm going to give this an A-star. And I think it's one of the best matches that I've seen in a long time, not only from that division, but just in general.
Wow.
I'll drop it to an A, because you've got to look at the match that was at the Royal Rumble earlier this year and say, okay, that's how you do a multi-man match. But this was damn close. This was damn close, and if you take everything into consideration, probably the best match on the card, in my opinion.
Okay.
So I'll give it an A. There you go.
Okay.
On to the main event.
Main event.
Kevin Steen versus Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Sorry, I'm stuck in the past here. What did you think about the match?
I thought it was pretty good going into it. They definitely built. I'd say that's the match they did. Like as a casual coming into it, that's the match they built up the best beforehand. Like they gave me, like I had a very deep rooted foundation in the history between the two that I didn't have with really any of the other players on the match. They did a decent job with with the two. Actually, they did a decent job with the Divas, building up their history. But I think they did the best with the last match, sort of showing like what brought them to this point, and showing him as like a guy who feels betrayed because his friend, and the other guy as a guy who has to play the bad guy for his family.
As feeling betrayed by his friend.
Yes.
Okay, nobody knows who you were on about there.
Well, so Sami being betrayed by his friend. And the other being a sort of having to play a darker path because he's trying to look out for his family, which I think is kind of like bullshit, because you're getting paid plenty of money. No matter, they're not going to go hungry tonight.
Actually, NXT workers do not get paid that much.
Workers, but the wrestlers get paid at least a living.
No, I'm on about workers means wrestlers.
Okay.
The only one there who's on big money, like WWE level money right now, is Balor.
Really?
Because Balor's not on a developmental contract. Balor's like on a proper contract.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I know what you mean though. But obviously, you don't think about that, do you? It's in the context of the story. I really like going into it, both sides of the angle. How Steen feels betrayed because Steen feels betrayed because Owens feels betrayed because Zayn got to the WWE first, right? Mm-hmm. And then Owens feels betrayed because the only reason why he got to the WWE first is because Owens had a family and abandoned wrestling. And then Owens feels betrayed.
Which, that part of me, that's stupid. It's like, okay, well, he had a family. Why are you going to get angry at him for having children? You know, oh, you're a terrible person because you're a good father.
Because his life goals were always to get to WWE, and he abandons them just because he's had a family.
Well, I mean, I think most people would agree that, like, no matter what goals you had in life, the moment you have a family, those goals mean nothing.
It's a choice to have a family.
With a lot of people, it's not. But yeah, it was his choice to have a family, and I think people. Look, my opinion is people's. I've never been one to stick with a goal in life, so it may just be me. But I think people's what people want out of their life, that will change often. I don't think you can hold people accountable for what they said at one point. Anyway, we're just getting into story, but you know what I mean? I don't know. I can take both their sides, though. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I can take both their sides. I think the other guy also, like, I can feel him. He was betrayed by his friend. They were having a good time. And also, Owens is playing a decent heel in this. You know, he's playing a really good bad guy, I'd say. He's playing a bad guy with a reason to be bad, almost.
Yeah, that's a really important thing. Is that it's hard to be heel in Full Sail.
It's not like Kane, who's just like, hey, I'm the son of the devil or something. You know, it's like that's why I'm mean, and you're just like, what? This is just wrestling.
That crowd likes to cheer people who are good in the ring.
Yeah.
And they've somehow managed to make them hate. Well, to be fair, most of the weeks they've been hitting Owens, but they kind of failed tonight because there were so many kill Owens kills chants, fight Owens fight chants. Like, they failed. The crowd are into Owens. It was always going to happen, but they managed to keep it off for a while. And I say the crowd was more into Owens than they were into Zayn last night.
Oh, they were. I could tell because I was expecting them to boo Owens a lot, but no, they were totally for him winning the match. I could tell. Yeah. Yeah, they were excited.
Yeah, it's
It was a good crowd. We should also mention that it was.
It was
good,
but
it's
it's not Full Sail best. I felt they lost energy at certain points throughout the night, and Full Sail have been better than that. But it was a good Full Sail crowd. It's always a good Full Sail crowd when they have to show up for 2 hours rather than 6.
Mm-hmm.
They're slightly better. But the match was great. There were great spots. Owens, it's his best showing to date. He's clearly ready to be whatever WWE want him to be, whether that's the face of NXT or the face of whatever the fuck they want him to do. He could have won the Royal Rumble 2 weeks ago, and I would have complained less than seeing Roman Reigns win it. So there you go. Owens is something else, and Zayn is going to be Zayn. Zayn has got a lot of money to be made as a face,
I'm really surprised Ziggler didn't win the Royal Rumble. That's just. Ugh.
So is everyone else.
I wanted Ziggler to be. He had such a good story. Anyway, continue.
There's a lot of money to be made as Zayn as a face in the ilk of Ziggler and Daniel Bryan. And I think he's those Zayn and Owens and Balor and Kenta have so much potential. But they're not that young. They're not that young.
They're old, yeah.
They're not old. Like, some of them are reasonably young.
Old for wrestling, though. I mean,
no. They're if they got up into the main roster right now, Owens is young. Owens is only 30, and Balor should be hitting his prime.
See, to me, 30 is old, but I don't know.
Your 30s is where your prime is in wrestling. 40 is when you start to think about hanging up your boots. 20 is really young.
I think I'm thinking of like Olympics, where if you're in the Olympics and basically you can do it when you're 20 and 24. After that, you're as old as shit and you can't do it anymore.
Yeah, in wrestling, like nobody below the age of like 26, 27 is ever gonna even like wrestle in WWE most of the time, unless you're like Paige and you win your Divas Championship when you're 20. Yeah,
20-0.
Yeah, 2-0. She's now 21.
Oh, she beats the shit out of women before she can drink.
Well, she's from England.
Oh, that's right. She has a terrible accent. Every time I hear her speak, it's just not very English, you know.
So Kevin Owens, very good, very aggressive, a good finish in my opinion. I think it's perfect to start the feud off. It's also perfect if they wanted to write Owens. I keep saying Owens. If they wanted to write Zayn off TV, I think this could be fine. If you wanted to get Zayn up to the main roster where he clearly belongs, but also I see this being the start of a huge feud, and I'm fine with that. Because it puts Steen over basically. Steen is over now. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's all it needed to do, and it has. And I'm gutted that Sami Zayn only got 2 months with the belt after chasing it for freaking 2 years. But, Sami Zayn is best when he's chasing the belt anyway. Mm. So, do you have any closing comments and grade?
I don't have any closing comments. I thought it was. I mean, yeah, I have one. I thought it was. It wasn't my favorite match, but I did like it. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So my grade would be, I don't know, considering a lot of it was just like him beating the royal fuck out of him. I mean Owens beating the royal fuck out of Zayn, and then at the end, yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
But I would say I'd give it a B plus. I don't think it's an A just because there wasn't. I like technical wrestling a lot more. Like precise moves, and that was, like I said, a lot of fuck beating. It's just like.
Ooh, I do see what you mean. I liked it a lot, and I felt it accomplished everything it needed to do, and it was told so well, and Sami sold a concussion so well, and the story, and it put Owens over so well. I just. It set out what it achieved to do. And in what it wanted to do, it was perfect. So I'm gonna give it an A star.
Okay.
Overall show comments. Overall show grade.
I'd say the show overall, A minus. It was good. I liked it. It was a really good show. I was entertained, very much.
Okay, I'm gonna go with an A. I felt like it was. I mean, it wasn't as good as Our Evolution, which is the perfect show, so that's the reason why it gets knocked down, but it was pretty much better than anything else you're going to see out there for a while, until NXT decide to do another one. Let's see how WrestleMania does.
I mean, I had to give the show an A minus because I had 2 shows that I rated below a B, so, I mean...
2 matches, you mean?
2 matches, yeah, not shows. Anyway, but, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for what it wanted to do, it did it very well. And it was a great show. But yeah, who's your best performer on the show, on the card?
It's hard to say. Goddamn, I'm forgetting his name.
Describe him.
The Irishman. Sorry,
Finn Balor.
Yeah, I thought Finn Balor was a really good performer. He was a really good fighter. I thought he was entertaining. I'd say he was my favorite guy on the card overall. Yeah.
Okay. Who was you? Okay, I'll do mine actually. My best performer is Bayley. No, I'm just joking. I won't let my bias get in the way. I've got to go with Kenta. Honestly, I mean, he was given a throwaway match with a very good worker, and he made the absolute most of it. Owens was great later on in the night, and his heel work was excellent. But Kenta...
It's tough to open a show,
It's overachieved.
It's a hard job. I would say Kenta was definitely tied for mine. I wanted him or Finn Balor, but I want to go with the Irishman.
Who was your worst performer of the night?
The Bull.
Bull Dempsey, really?
Maybe not. Who do you think?
It's hard not to go with Bull Dempsey, isn't it? Is it Blake or is it Murphy? You know what? I'm gonna give it to Blake and Murphy because I can't remember which one of them I hated more.
Okay. That was the shitty tag team.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're both shitty tag teams. There is no good tag team in this town. That's the one thing NXT just doesn't do.
Yeah. Okay, so
you are going with the Bull.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bull.
Alright, sure. It's fine. I understand why you're going with the Bull. I want to like Bull. I want to like Bull so much.
I mean, everyone wants to like a bull until it runs into you and rams you with its horns.
Everyone wants to like Bull Dempsey until his balls fall out of his tights. Like, that's it. Okay, I think that's it, right?
Yeah. I think Bull Dempsey should treat his wrestling costume like the fat girl at the pool. Wear like a t-shirt, shorts.
Like Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Exactly.
You don't see Kevin Owens wearing spandex. Actually, you have, but not that often.
So anyway, I think that's about all for it. Yeah.
That's a wrap. We'll be back with Fallout 4 stuff next week. Bethesda have scheduled an E3 conference for the first time.
It's exciting. It's very exciting. Which is probably... Is it the first time ever?
Yes.
Yeah, see, to me, that's a pretty good sign that they might announce it. Who knows? Maybe they'll just be like, fuck it. We're going to announce 12 new developer games.
Yes.
12 new out-of-developer.
Yeah, if you guys want to learn more about that and our thoughts on it, tune in next week for the next Fallout podcast. And if you enjoyed this, we'll be back for Fastlane. You happy for that? It's like a week or two away.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, that show is going to be dreadful. Nowhere near this one, so enjoy that. Thanks for watching, guys, and